Why is everybody deciding to leave Tampa, Florida at the moment? Well, I have a fair idea because I've been selling homes here for 20 years, so I'm speaking to customers who we are helping to relocate from Tampa into other areas, and I'm also networking with a bunch of agents down there, and we're kind of sharing our thoughts between each other. So there are a whole host of reasons why people may be deciding to leave Tampa, but I want to focus on some of the main ones, the ones that I believe are most important, and bring them to you so you have all of the information to decide whether moving to Tampa or maybe one of the suburbs is best for you. So grab your popcorn, grab your notebook, buckle in. Let's get right into the content. Now, a recent report that I just read said that only 10,000 people moved to Tampa in 2024. That's down from over 30,000 people in 2023. So a considerable drop off, and we're seeing less and less people moving to Tampa. And of course, there could be a huge number of reasons for this, and it's really kind of speculative as to what those could be. But in talking to customers that we're relocating out of Tampa into the suburbs, and in talking to real estate agents in the area, I've come up with a pretty comprehensive list that I want to share with you, and I'd be interested to know your thoughts about them as well. So be sure to reach out in the comments and let me know what you think is the reason why people are moving from Tampa at the moment. And be sure to watch all the way to the end, because the last one I'm going to give you is the most important one in my opinion, and it's the one I hear from most people. Alright guys, so reason number one why so many people are leaving Tampa, in my opinion, probably has to be the traffic. Now listen, I know most cities are going to experience traffic. It's part and parcel of living there, and the traffic certainly isn't going to be as bad as Orlando, for example, which just seems like it's the devil's cauldron of traffic over there. But certainly Tampa has been getting significantly worse over the years that I've been here, and on the times that I do go into Tampa, it's more and more frequent that I'm running into traffic issues, whether it's going down Kennedy into downtown Tampa or going across 275. It seems no matter where I am, there's always road work going on, and the congestion just seems to get worse and worse. And it's really a mirror of a lot of the other areas of Tampa as well. Even where I live up in Spring Hill, Brooksville, the traffic has gotten considerably worse over the last 20 years, but it's nowhere near on a level that Tampa is. And even among small cities, Tampa has kind of a reputation of being somewhere that has a disproportionate amount of traffic. And it's because the infrastructure is a little older there, and it always seems a step behind the development that's going on. And there is so much work going on that it seems like they're working their way along the road. It's always under construction, and then as soon as they finish, they start back at the other end again all over again. So it's kind of an ongoing problem, but traffic is definitely an issue in Tampa, and in my opinion, one of the big issues why people are looking to leave there. Now, the number two reason why people are choosing to leave Tampa at the moment, and it's right in my wheelhouse, is going to be the home prices and the rent prices. And let me explain what I mean by that. Now, Tampa was basically the second fastest growing city in the US during the COVID years for price appreciation. Only one place in the entire country saw greater price appreciation than Tampa, and what that did is it moved what used to be a relatively affordable city and put the home prices into the stratosphere. It's made it very, very unaffordable for a lot of people, and so that leads to two things. It leads to people who used to rent there, who would maybe look to purchase, not being able to afford to purchase anymore. So they're looking into the suburbs, or they're looking into totally different areas where it's more affordable, and leaving Tampa altogether. And then the second part of that is people who saw a great increase in their equity when the home prices rose through COVID are looking to cash in, put that money in the bank, move somewhere else where it's more affordable, and just sit on that money. And who can blame them, quite frankly, with the appreciation that we saw? It was almost 60% price appreciation over a 3-year period, which is just crazy, and hopefully the likes of which we never see again. So what it did is it gave a real sticker shock to people who are looking to shop in Tampa. It's made them look at other areas. So less people moving into Tampa, less people buying in Tampa that were there before, and more people moving out, all lead to that migration and that population change which we're seeing. But it's without a doubt a big reason why people are deciding to leave Tampa at the moment. Now, number three on the reasons why people are deciding to leave Tampa, beyond question of a doubt, is the hurricane issue. Now, hurricanes have always existed in Florida, but Tampa has always had this kind of mythological story around it, where it's just avoided a direct hit for 100 years, and it's kind of arguable as to whether we can claim that anymore, because although that technically the last hurricane did come in a little further south, the devastation that was caused by Helene and Milton was just catastrophic. And all along the Bay Area, all along the waterfront, there was 6, 10, 12-foot flooding in some areas. There were casualties, both monetarily in homes and in loss of life. And it's really got some people spooked. For one, it makes people less likely to move to the area because although they knew hurricanes could happen and do exist, like I said, Tampa had this kind of mythology behind it. And now they've kind of seen the curtain pulled back and seen what can happen in those areas. And God forbid, if we are to have a direct hit there, I can only imagine how that would look. And then the second part of it is people who have been living in Tampa have now gone through that experience and are saying, I don't want to go through it again. So they're looking to move to other areas where it's perceived to be safer and getting out of Tampa altogether. So definitely the hurricanes are a reason why people are leaving Tampa, in my opinion. Wanted to bring that information to you. And while we're talking about the weather in general might be a reason why people are leaving Tampa. You know, I know when I moved here from the UK, I thought, man, I can't wait to be in the Sunshine State and enjoy the weather. And the truth is, in the summer, it gets unbearably hot. The humidity is at 100%. The temperature can reach the mid to high 90s in July and August. But then on top of that, it averages like 21 days a month of rain. So the weather's kind of really funky, and you know, no matter how long I've been here, 20 years at this point, I still never get used to the summers. I still find it just stifling with the heat and the humidity. And there's a good chance that people can't last in that kind of environment very long and they just decide, I'm out of here, I'm gonna go somewhere where the weather's a little bit fairer. So I think without a doubt, people don't know quite what to expect from the Florida weather. They don't know quite how bad it's gonna be in the summers. And when they've experienced it for a couple of years, they get out of Dodge. So I think that's another reason why people are leaving Tampa. Hi guys, Ross Hardy from the Hardy team at Remax, and if you're getting value from this video, please be sure to like the video and comment below and let me know what reasons you think people might be leaving Tampa, or if you've left Tampa yourself, the reason that pushed you over the top. I want you to please subscribe to the channel. I'd love you to hit the notifications bell. That way, anytime we release any videos about Tampa and the suburbs north of Tampa, you'll be the first ones to be informed. And be sure to reach out to us if you have any questions or you're looking to move to the area. We specialize in all of Tampa and all of the suburbs to the north, so West Chase, Carrollwood, Wesley Chapel, Trinity, Odessa, Spring Hill, Brooksville. You can reach us at the phone number below here. You can email us, call us, text us, set up a Zoom. We hear from dozens of people like you from the YouTube channel every single month, and we love helping you guys out. I won't waste any more time. We'll get right back into the content. Now, another reason why people might be leaving Tampa is the cost of living. And again, there's two ways to look at that. So first of all, I want to talk about the cost of living in Tampa on kind of a national scale. Now, according to the website I use for my research, Tampa's cost of living is actually 3% below the national average cost of living. However, there are some important things to consider in that. The first one is that homeowners insurance costs and flood insurance costs in particular are likely to be rising over the next couple of years in light of what we've seen with the devastation from the hurricanes. And we also know that when the market turns around a little bit and home prices start to appreciate, Tampa's likely to see an appreciation faster than most other areas. So rapidly, that kind of affordability cost of living is going to get less so. But then I want to talk about it in comparison to the other surrounding areas as well. So some of the suburbs, for example. Now, maybe the most glaring example would be where I live in Brooksville, which is about 45 minutes north of Tampa. And I love it because it's a sleepy old town, but I love it because of the affordability and cost of living as well. So according to PayScale, which is the site I use to do the research for videos like this, the cost of living in Tampa is 20% higher than it is in Brooksville. But that only tells part of the story because the cost of housing in Tampa is 147% higher than Brooksville. So when people start looking at things like that, they start looking to the suburbs for better cost of living, for better home affordability, and they decide they're going to leave Tampa and all of that behind. So without a doubt, that has to be a big reason why people are leaving Tampa. Working in real estate, we see that more than most people perhaps, but it's a huge, huge reason that people tell us they're looking to get out of Tampa. And all of that leads into the final reason, and the one that I believe is the biggest, and that's just that in general, the suburbs have just become more attractive than living in Tampa itself. Now, there used to be a time where if I had my magic wand, I would wave it and I would live in Hyde Park or Soho or one of those really cool, trendy areas of Tampa. I love some of those older Mediterranean style homes they have down there with those brick-lined streets. It's just so quaint, so picturesque. But the truth is, I have those brick-lined streets in Brooksville with the historic type of homes. And now, if I were to wave my magic wand and money were no object, I probably wouldn't even live in Tampa. I would probably go somewhere like West Chase, just 9 miles north of Tampa, that just got voted the #1 suburb in all of Florida, and be there just a little bit outside the city where you don't have to deal with quite so much of the traffic. They still have a bunch of amenities. The home prices are a little bit more affordable, and quite frankly, the schools are better in a lot of those areas. And when I look around at some of the other suburbs that have seen huge growth, like Wesley Chapel and Trinity and Odessa, it's because their schools are mainly A-grade schools. Their crime scores on crimegrade.org are A or A+. The amenities are now there where people can not have to travel into Tampa to experience a lot of those things they want to experience. The home prices are a little bit more affordable. They're newer constructions, so they don't have to worry about maintenance and ongoing stuff like that. And like I said, these new communities that they're building in these areas are really groundbreaking. They're building thousands of acres of these communities with hundreds of acres of wooded trails and forests and lakes and hiking places. And I look at somewhere like Angeline, where they've got a community farm where they grow the produce and sell it at a farmer's market once a month, all within the community. And it's really, really refreshing to see these places popping up. And so it just all makes Tampa a little less desirable, and it makes the suburbs, particularly, like I said, Wesley Chapel and West Chase, even more desirable, where you have great schools, affordable homes, and people around you who are a similar age to you, whereas before the suburbs would be for predominantly older people or retirees. So we're really seeing a lot of transition in that respect. And it's hard to blame people when the homes are more affordable, the crime rate is better, and the schools are better. So all of that wrapped up in a neat little bow, just to say that I think the suburbs are primarily more attractive now than living in Tampa for the vast majority of people. All right guys, so that's gonna do it for the main reasons why people are deciding to leave Tampa at the moment. I'm sure that makes sense to all of you guys, but I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you think the reasons are why people are leaving Tampa, or why you left Tampa yourself. Like I said, be sure to subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and reach out to my team and I if you need any information. We're real estate experts in the Tampa area. We would love to help you with your next home purchase. Until next time, guys, I hope to hear from you so I can show you around town. Be sure to watch the other videos on our channel. I'm Ross Hardy from the Hardy team. It's time to love where you live.